Hey y'all, hey, it's me, Portia O, your host of Life Be Lifin Podcast. And thank you again for joining me for today's episode number 17. I cannot believe we're already at episode number 17. Like, this is crazy. But I am grateful to be here with you all. And today, as you see, I have a wonderful and beautiful guest, okay? But before I introduce her, let me just introduce myself in this platform, which is Life Be Lifin. This is a podcast where we talk about how life be over here, life in us all via all types of relationships, situations, and everyday things we are experiencing, all while in real time healing and learning how to be a better human being. Okay, I'm super excited that you're here, and I'm glad that we're going to have this opportunity to talk with each other today. Today, the title of the episode is "It's Giving Boss." Okay. And originally I was going to name this episode "It's Giving Boss Chick," but a boss is not gender fluid. She is a boss regardless of her being a woman, but that's just a cherry on top, okay? She is the owner of the Social Media Project LLC, which is where she helps business owners with digital projects, social media management, and brand awareness, which is exactly what she did for me and my many businesses. And I am so glad and so grateful to welcome one of my friends, Miss Davina Lemon.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes. I'm so excited to have you. You are my first official interview, and I am super excited to be able to interview such an amazing boss. Okay.
Look, that's a lot of pressure to be the first, so I hope I do you justice.
Oh, you are fine. You will be perfectly fine. Okay. I'm sure of it. I have come to Davina so many times with my business ventures and my ideas. And even when it came to this podcast, I was like, I got this idea. I'm feeling led to do this podcast. And I don't know, like, where I should start exactly. And I know she's like really tapped into all the things. So I'm like, what you think, girl? Help me out. And she gave me such wonderful advice. And I'm super grateful for it because I'm still using that same platform and it has helped me so much. So thank you again,
and
Davina.
and you're doing so amazing. Every time I
Thank
see any of your
you.
stuff, I just be just so proud and blown away. You're doing amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So we're just going to jump right on into this interview and one of my favorite segments, which is I got some questions, y'all. Okay. Because y'all know I always got all the questions to ask. But today will be a little different. There will be interview style questions. And I'm just going to ask Davina one by one and she's going to answer them. And yeah, I hope that you all get some wonderful information. Not hope. I know that you all will because she dope and she know all the things. And yeah, we're going to get into it. First question, Davina. Why did you decide to start your own business?
So I have been starting businesses, on and off in my 20s for a while.
Mhm.
2020 hit though. 2020 hit, pandemic hit, and
Mhm.
everybody started a business.
Yeah.
And I was a little mad at God because I'm like, God, why are you not giving me a business idea? I do business, and I'm watching everybody start business, and I was proud of everybody, especially all these Black people that started businesses. And I'm
Mhm.
sitting back and I'm watching it, and all of the marketing was trash. Like all of the marketing had areas, room for improvement. And it was just like, my people need me because you guys have all of these great ideas, but the package that you're putting it in online is not
Mhm.
going to compete with some of the other big brands. And it was just like I was sitting on all of this knowledge that I had developed all of these years. And
Mhm. Mhm.
God was like, that's your idea. Help all of these people that starting businesses, help them with their
Mhm.
online presence, their brand awareness, their social media.
That's how you birth the social media or what the social project LLC.
Social Project LLC. Yep.
Yes, that's wonderful. That's super dope. What advice would you give to someone just starting their own business without giving away all your goodies? Okay.
So Any business is fine. You know, whatever your niche is, whatever you feel
Mm-hmm.
called to do, but regardless of whatever business it is, you have to work on your marketing. You have to have a marketing strategy before you even start that business, because who's going
Mm-hmm.
to know about it? Who's going to take it seriously? This is
Mm-hmm.
like the first introduction of that business, and you
Mm-hmm.
want to be introduced. You know how you want to be perceived. It can't be janky. You know, so as
Yeah.
much as if it's a recipe, as much as you put in that recipe, you need to also put the same love and attention as and how you're going to market it and what the brand is going to look like. I think that's
Mhm.
so important, and so many people miss that step.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the easy step to miss, especially when you like, oh, I got this idea, I want to run with it, da 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 da. Like, so yeah, that's why it's good to have somebody like you to even come to and be like, what should that look like? How can I get this out? Who can I get it out to? Whatever. How do you deal with the fear or doubt of it all? Okay.
So this gonna sound weird,
Okay.
um, but I have an alter ego.
Come on.
Because Davina, yes, Davina is scary, Mary. Okay, Davina is scared of everything,
Uh-huh.
and that's normal, I guess, right?
Mhm,
But
mhm.
I can't just let that be the end. So I'm scared, so I don't do anything. So I had created like this alter ego earlier in my career, that Nicole is who she is, and Nicole comes out when Davina is scared, and Nicole
Yeah.
has to go and negotiate this meeting or conquer this fear, or just, you know, I
Mhm.
had to just create a different personality of this fearless part of myself to just do it scared anyways, you know, and
Yeah.
cry about it later, but at least it's done. So
Period.
yes.
Period. Yes, I love that. I think I'm learning that as well. Like you said, cry about it later, as long as you did it. Like just do
Yes.
something with it instead of just
Yes.
I've let fear hold me back for so long from
Hmm.
stepping out because I'm afraid who's gonna listen, who's gonna like me, who's gonna, even buy anything from me. Like, does not matter. Why are you and then I just won't go forward with the idea. Like,
And then you
no,
just stuck. And then you just
stuck.
stuck.
Yep.
And now you're mad at yourself because a whole year went back and you're like, I could have just did that, you know,
Yep.
and it would have
Yep.
been done.
Yep.
So this
Yep.
is like my year of yes. Even like, you know, doing
Yes.
this podcast, I'm just, any opportunity is just yes. It's just yes.
Yes.
And I'll
Yes.
probably cry 5 minutes before it happens. And then Nicole comes out and I'm on and it's over. And it's like, it wasn't even that bad, you know?
It wasn't. Yes. I love that. I love that. Yes. So there's no moving in fear. You go
Period.
if you have to
No.
doubt, just say
You can
yes.
have the doubt, but you still have to move, you
Right.
know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Move forward. Yes. I love that. Take that one step. That's all it takes. What routines do you follow each day?
So, one new routine that I have implemented in my life is I have found a new love for podcasts. Weirdly
Oh.
enough, I've become obsessed with listening to podcasts, particularly podcasts about like wealth and finance, and
Mm-hmm.
um, it literally just like increases my brain power just to like just be getting so much, what would you call it, just education and just being
Yeah.
fed, like any opportunity I have that I'm doing like a monotonous task that I can just listen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed, and I make sure there's something that I listen to that I'm feeding my brain every day
Mm-hmm.
to something. If I'm driving to Starbucks, let me put on this podcast and just get something out of it, you know.
Absolutely. I adopted that a while ago. I've been obsessed with podcasts for years. I'm always listening to a podcast all the time. And or an audiobook. And like you said, always having
Yes,
something
audio.
on. It's not necessarily always music for me. Because I feel like I'm in a phase of my life that I'm just trying to over educate myself, over pour into myself so that I can
Yes.
pour out to my kids and help myself, while I'm trying to
Mhm.
figure out this whole thing called life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I'm always looking for knowledge out there, and I'm always pulling from those places. And I've come across so many wonderful platforms and resources, and I
Mhm.
feel like older generations didn't have that like that. Like,
Yeah.
and it's right now at our fingertips. So what better use
Yes.
than I'm spending time in the car dropping the kids off, going back and forth to school and stuff like that, or I'm sitting here working 8 hours a day and I could be listening to that, opposed to just watching TV. I do that as well. But
Yeah.
I'm just
I was literally trying to find a show to watch. Like,
yeah,
I was like, let me listen to a podcast. It's like I'd rather just be getting fed something because it's
yes,
like you're getting fed. It feels
yes,
good when
it
you
does.
hear something that you never heard before, and it's like,
That
oh,
part.
I could use it, you know.
Yes,
So yes,
yes,
I'm upset.
yes.
I'm upset.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Where do you see your business in like 5 years?
That's a good question. So I am actually building processes and automations now that
Mm-hmm.
in 5 years I can just be on the beach somewhere, collecting money. So like I am really really into digital projects and
Mm-hmm.
digital tools that I can put in a lot of work now, and
Mm-hmm.
once it's done, it's done. I can continue to make money off of those. So that is
Yeah.
like my ultimate goal is to just kind of have freedom of not having to do the everyday tasks because of the work that I did.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's paying off later.
Yeah. That makes so much sense. Like, why not make up something that could just work for itself for you and you can make money off of it and you could be on somebody's beach somewhere. Child.
Exactly.
Listen.
Exactly. Yes.
I am here for it. And what do you think about 10 years?
Part of my business is, well, the mission of my business is digital equity,
Mm-hmm.
and bringing up the next generation of digital leaders. So in
Mm-hmm.
10 years, I want to be full force into like a school that we teach teenagers how to be, have their own businesses, be social media managers, build websites and everything. So we have Black people in those spaces. We have Black people in Web3 and entrepreneurship and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that is the next step or the next goals of the business, not only to help small business owners, but
Mm-hmm.
bring the next generation on, and we just keep this going.
Yes, that's super dope. I love that idea. My kids will be old enough to attend that school by then, so that
Yeah,
would be
bring them on.
yes, that's super dope because our kids need more outlets. It's more than one way to get to a goal.
Mhm,
And I think like for so long we've been taught like the traditional jobs. You gotta be a nurse, you gotta be a doctor, you gotta be a lawyer, you gotta be a, what I'm saying, a sustain or get a constant substantial income. But
mhm.
it's many ways out here to make money that our
Yeah,
culture is not tapped into or knowledgeable of. So I think that's super dope and that's gonna take off. Okay. Yeah,
thank you.
that's gonna be amazing. So next question. How does your business look different now versus when you first started?
You asked some good questions. So I think when I first started, it was me really, really hands on doing everything. I was
Mm-hmm.
super excited.
Mm-hmm.
Me doing everything now. I am transitioning more into coaching as opposed to doing of it.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
do your social media, or I can get 10 people in a room and teach 10 businesses how to sustain your own social media, and
Yeah.
it's it helps more that way. I can
Yeah, yeah.
more people, everybody may not be able to afford my prices, but with this, it's a way that I can, it's like a win-win for everyone. I can give
Yeah.
back and you can, Black businesses can still sustain in this
Mhm.
digital space. So
Mhm.
I am pushing more towards the coaching side now.
Are you're gonna start setting up like seminars or
Yeah.
webinars
Mhm.
or things like that? Wow, that's smart because then that's like a one-time thing. I don't know if you plan on doing them live or having it preset your curriculum, how it goes down. That's a one-time thing. You do it and you can keep
And I'm
pushing
closer.
that out.
Look, I'm closer to the beach. I'm closer to
That's
being
it.
on
I mean,
the
close to the goal. Like, come on. That's so smart.
Yeah.
Like, you started with just this idea of people need help with marketing, especially in our culture. We don't be knowing the things and we
Mhm.
just be jumping out there. And that simple idea, let me give them this help, this resource, and now to take it, like it's just so many avenues you could go. It's
Mhm.
so much you could do, and it don't be so taxing on your life, and you can
Yes.
just do other things.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow, that's crazy. That's gonna be crazy. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Thank you.
How do you set your business apart from others in your industry?
I think it goes back to like my company's mission. Is when you think of marketing, usually you think of, this stuffy company that's just want to take money. And
Mm-hmm.
I think what sets my company apart is our mission to want to give back, to want to educate and bring a new generation in.
Mm,
And also, with us bringing a new generation in, we can kind of discount the prices to help small business owners that can't necessarily afford the bigger
mhm.
companies. So it's like everybody is helping everybody, and
Yes.
it's not just about money because it's more than that. It's about the equality that Black people can stand up against other businesses and
Mhm.
and compete. And
Yeah.
without a digital presence, you
Mhm.
can't compete at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that is, and that just speaks to your heart posture. It's not like you said, it's not about the money, and God gave you the idea, and you're moving in that spirit, and you're moving in that way. That's why it's gonna be so successful and so beneficial because it's about helping people. That's the core of it all. It's about making people better and their businesses better, which is making their livelihoods better, making their family lives better. And it's just like a trickle down effect. Like,
Yeah.
so that is so important. When you are, I feel like when you are a business owner, um, when you do things with that type of spirit, it's going to be blessed, period.
I 1,000% agree. 1,000% agree. Because
Yeah.
it's just a law of attraction. Like it comes back
Yes.
to
Yes.
like I'm pushing
Yes.
out, my intentions are good. I'm pushing
Yes.
out good energy. I am fair with people. I try to help as
Hmm.
much as I can,
Yeah.
and I am blessed to receive those blessings and good people around me as well. So it just
Hmm.
that's the key. Like if your business is failing,
Hmm.
look at yourself. What are you doing? What are you
Yeah.
putting out there? Like check
Yeah.
yourself because there's something. Are you is it greed that you need to check yourself on?
Yeah.
Over people because that's what you're getting back. That's the
Yep.
customers you're getting. It
Hmm.
all starts with yourself. I'm a big believer of that.
Yes, yes, I totally agree. And even for myself, I used to, in my other business, I used to pray all the time, like, God, send me clients that are in alignment with me
Mm,
because um, all business ain't good business. And it's easy to say, like, I want everybody to come patronize me, but everybody don't, it's not going to care about your stuff like you would. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So you can't. That's this is just my view. This is my opinion. To each his own. But that's just me, and that's something I pray for. And every person I've ever worked with was a good experience. It was no bad blood. I never felt unsafe or anything like that. So that's a blessing. You know.
yeah.
Um, So yeah, that's just my tidbit, my
Well,
advice.
that's something I'm gonna implement. Even before we did this show,
Mhm.
Portia asked, "Could we pray?" And I was just like, "I want to start praying more about my business, like or my
Listen.
clients, or about the people that I meet." So I'm taking that away from you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Listen, because I know, I mean, when I told you I was having a feeling of doing the podcast and stuff, that was me. Like, I'm hearing God constantly like push
Mhm.
me towards this. And I'm like, I don't want to do that because it's going to have to be me being vulnerable and exposing myself. And I'm
Mhm.
okay back here in the background. Okay. And he like, no, I need you to share your stories. You need to help
Yes.
somebody out here that may be going through what you're going through, and
Mhm.
not many people are talking about it, and we think it's abnormal that we're going through it, and
Mhm.
it's not true. Like, share your story, help people. Like, it's gonna help people. And even if it don't seem
Yeah.
like it's taking off, quote unquote, if the numbers ain't large right now, it's going to come a time that it's going,
Consistency.
that
Yes. Yes.
consistency. And that's why I was,
Yes.
that's what you told me. That's Davina
Mhm.
told me. And I
Yes.
like, and before with my other business, it seemed like it was harder for me to post every day. I don't know if it was because lack of creativity on my end. I know I'm very creative, but I'm just like, I don't know, and I don't want to mess up. I don't know if I was still moving scared. I don't know what it was, but like with this Life Be Lifin', I be
You
thirsty. I got,
shine.
listen,
Yes. Fine. This
my
was it.
drafts. Listen, my drafts got so many. I be locked and loaded. I be so thirsty. And then
I love
I
it.
just be like, let me post. Like, let me do. Like, I be on it. But that just shows you like when you walk in your purpose, and like when
Mm.
it's something that you really meant to do, like it's gonna come easy to you. And that's just how I feel about it. And whatever. To each his own, like I said. But that's my walk. And so I'm grateful to be doing it. How did you market your business when it was brand new?
So I had everything ready, my website, my offer or whatever. It was around the holidays. So I did it like a special. I did a discount. I ran a discount, a holiday discount, get it
Mm-hmm.
before the end of the year, and I did a Facebook ad. Paid $25 for a Facebook ad to
Mm-hmm.
run this ad for 7 days to any small business owner
Mm-hmm.
that may be interested in social media marketing, whatever. And in those 7 days, like my calendar blew up. Like I was like, is this real? My calendar blew up. And I'm like scared, and
Mm-hmm.
had to get on those calls and be a professional. And yes, I could,
Mm-hmm.
and walk them through their process and say, yes, I'll give you a proposal and get back to you. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where it started. $25 a social media ad, and the not being scared to get on the call and talk and let them know what my skill set was and what I
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah. That's so crazy. There you go again. God gave it to you. I keep saying this, and God, I don't know if, I guess it's God keep telling me, God gave it to you. You were obedient. You followed it, and you put that thing out. You did your work. You set up all your
Yeah.
stuff, put it out, and then boom, there you go. Like, people you didn't even know, I'm sure, were
My
like,
first My first customer was a business owner from Alabama. Like it was great, and we worked together for years. It was a while. But yeah, it's just really about just doing it right, because I could have made the
mm-hmm,
website, had the
mm-hmm,
offer, and all of that,
mm-hmm.
and then been scared to tell anybody about it, or been scared to
Yep.
take the meeting, because I'm scary Mary, like I
Yeah.
am,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
scared or not, just let's go. They either, and it worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out. So, yes.
Yeah. Thank God for Nicole. Uh,
Right?
we thank God for Nicole. Okay. What is the hardest part about being an entrepreneur?
I don't want to say it could be lonely, but I kind of can be. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little out of touch. Sometimes I
Hmm.
have a very small circle of entrepreneur friends, and an even
Mm-hmm.
smaller circle of entrepreneur friends that's doing it full time.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole entire life is work. Like in this house is a house of full of, we always talk about work. So then like when I, just go out the house, go to brunch, it's like, what is regular people talking about? Because like I'm always talking about work and marketing, and
Wow.
so
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not, just still staying in touch with life, work life balance, I guess. You
Yeah,
know, because when you're hungry, that I live, eat, and breathe this,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, literally, you have to
Mm-hmm.
pull me out the house because I'm just in my hungry stage right now. I'm building,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and still finding, I guess, that work life balance that pull away, go have brunch, go be girly and talk about, I don't know, whatever it is you need to talk about does not work, and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, but that makes sense. Like you said, when you work, live, and breathe this all the time,
Yeah.
that's easily like all the talk all the time. But yeah, it's definitely got to find that balance. Definitely got to
Yeah.
find that balance. To just woosah, take care of you.
Mhm.
Don't think about marketing anybody. You'll be fine.
I know. I literally have a meeting maker on my calendar that says work is done, leave your office, and I have a rule on Saturdays that I can't come downstairs. I'm only down here now because I'm doing
Yeah,
this, but like I literally set a rule that I am not allowed to come to my office on Saturdays because it could be a little excessive.
yeah, definitely pull back and take care of you. It'll still be there.
Yes. Yes.
It'll still be
Exactly.
there. What is your favorite part about being an entrepreneur?
Definitely 1,000% is going to be the freedom. Like
Mm,
my flexible schedule, my mornings are not rushed. My mornings are really slow. Me and my son wake up. I'm making breakfast every morning.
mhm,
My mornings are slow. I control my time. I don't put nothing on my calendar before like 10 o'clock. It's it's
mhm,
it's nighttime. How if Portia call and say, "Hey, you want to go to brunch?"
mhm,
Sure, I'll clear my schedule and just go. I love
mhm.
that nighttime is my own time.
Yeah, that's I aspire, okay, to get to this
Mhm.
level. I had took 2 weeks off at the end of the end of the year. I always do because my birthday and Christmas, all of that, whatever. So
Mhm.
that time off in the midst of being multiple business owner, Portia, um, I was like, man, I took off from everything. But I didn't want to go back to my nine to
I'm
five.
saying I know it's hard to go back.
I didn't want to go back. I was feeling good doing what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do.
Yes,
Doing my, Life Be Life and recordings, doing whatever, just living life and enjoying time with my kids, like, and
yes.
not being called to gotta punch in, gotta
Mhm.
log in, gotta be on this clock, gotta do these many hours. Like,
Mhm.
no, I just want to do what I want to do and
Yes.
enjoy my life.
Yes, yes.
But God gonna do it for me. He's doing it. He already putting up the stepping stones. That
Exactly.
9 to 5 is
And
ending
this and
sooner.
and this was a journey. Like this
It
is something that
is.
I visioned years ago. This is how I want my life to be, and I kept that
Yes.
vision like and worked towards that vision to like okay,
Hmm.
I had to like stop. Like wait, remember you was like dreaming about this? Like remember you was like wanting
Come
this
on.
to be your life? Like I'd be like wait,
Yes.
this is kind of
Yes.
my life right now. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. God has given me so many dreams and visions of where I'm going to go. And I'm just
Mm.
like, it's going to come a time that my kids are not even going to be going to regular school. They're going to be on tour with me with a tutor
Come on
teaching them.
tour. I see speaking
Listen,
engagement in your life,
listen,
like big stages.
listen,
Yes, I get
listen.
that. Yes,
It's going to happen. Y'all hearing
yes.
it here first. But I'm
Look,
just
wait,
saying,
can we hear it here first that I can get a ticket at a discounted rate because, like, I'm not paying $10,000 for your ticket. Like, I will, but I feel like, since we know each other, like, please, I need the audience to like know now. I need
listen,
backstage.
you definitely gonna be backstage. You probably gonna be on the
Okay,
panel. Listen,
okay,
it's not a problem. It's not a problem. I'm never gonna be that big that I'm gonna
okay.
forget people that have helped me on my journey. Okay,
We
um,
we we heard it here first,
heard it
everybody.
here
Okay.
first. Heard it here first. For sure, for sure. But yeah, that's the freedom of it all. It's definitely important. So, what qualities do you think every entrepreneur should possess?
Entrepreneurship is not for the weak. You have to have grit. Like you
Mhm,
have to have grit. You have to have perseverance with your passion, and it has to
mhm,
be consistent. You have to wait that thing out. You have to be
mhm,
consistent and passionate, and it's gonna be good days. It's gonna be bad days,
mhm.
but you have to wait it out in order to see success. You have to have grit to be in this type of industry.
Yeah,
Um, that's it. Like
yeah,
that's top one. You have that, everything else will fall into place because you can learn everything else.
yeah. Definitely, definitely. I mean, that's essentially is that like being ambitious? Like,
So it's being ambitious,
mm-hmm,
but it's being persistent
mm-hmm.
because everything is not. You can be as ambitious as you want, but
Okay,
everything is not going to go our way, right? My
yeah,
job is to go and get clients, right? And I have to
mm-hmm,
think of so many different strategies. Try this one. Okay, that worked, but I have to tweak it. Okay, try this one. Okay, try this. I have to be persistent. I have to
yeah,
follow up with clients that said, no, maybe last year wasn't a good time, but next year I can go back to you. I have
mm-hmm,
to, okay, this month sales were down, but I'm not gonna give up because next month sales can be up. Like it has to be
yes,
the hunger is so there, the passion is
yeah,
so there. Something that was a bad day didn't
mm-hmm,
knock me off my feet. I had to get back up the
mm-hmm.
next day and go back to the drawing board
Yeah,
and start over. Start over.
yeah. That's good. That's real good. And how have you grown personally from becoming an entrepreneur?
I would have to say like my interpersonal skills have definitely increased. If you like know me, like I consider myself an introvert. If
Mm-hmm.
I can be in a little bubble all day long, I will. If I could be somebody cubicle and not say anything,
Mm-hmm.
I will. But it doesn't work like that when you're a business owner. You
Yeah.
have to intentionally go out and meet people and give your elevator speech and kiss babies and shake hands and bring the call out.
Yes.
So definitely networking skills, seeking networking opportunities and putting
Mm-hmm.
myself out there more. It helped me, professionally and also personally just bring that side of me out because I mean, yeah, you could be an introvert, but like shy is not gonna get you anywhere. You know,
That
it,
part.
it, it it's just not. Like I wasted
That
so many years
part.
of my life being shy, like, and it did not get me anywhere. Like it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So being forced to not be shy, being forced to bring Nicole out everywhere I
Mm-hmm.
go, definitely in all aspects of my life.
Yes, I love that. And I feel the same way. I didn't ever consider myself an introvert. I felt like I was an extrovert, but I can definitely be closed off when I feel uncomfortable. in situations. So I'll just kind of like fade to the background, like, okay, Portia, let's not, but yeah, this platform has definitely made me be like, look, y'all finna see the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay.
Yeah.
You'll see me done up. You're gonna see me when I look like I got crust in my eye. It is what it is. Because
Mhm.
I gotta do what I've been told to do. So that's what I'm doing. Uh, so yeah, that's super dope. That's super dope. And it does make you face like your uncomfortabilities about yourself and different things that you battle with or whatever. So yeah. So what have been some of your biggest learning experiences in running a business?
I started my first business when I was 24 years old. I started a couple of businesses in my 20s that
Mm-hmm.
ended. And the difference between those businesses and my business now
Mm-hmm.
all goes back to consistency. Like that is the secret sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Those didn't make it a year because I wasn't consistent and I quit. And this
Mm-hmm.
one, no matter what, no matter if nobody liked it, if nobody shared it, if nobody commented, I was consistent and I showed up every day and I did something for my business every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Like if I would tell anybody, I mean, you can switch stuff, you can change stuff, go back to the drawing board, but just
Mm-hmm.
consistently working on your business until it gets where you want it to go is my
Mm-hmm.
biggest lesson that I learned with everything.
That's good. That's good. I mean, that consistency, it does change things. It does. But if you inconsistent, child, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. What do you look for when outsourcing or hiring?
If I'm outsourcing, it's just simply a skill set that I don't know and I don't have time to learn. I might as well give it to somebody else and utilize my time for something that I could be doing. But
Yeah.
if I'm hiring, I
Mm-hmm.
want to know why. I want to know, like, I'm passionate about people that want to learn. I want somebody that wants to learn. I'm not
Yep.
anybody that's like, I want to do what you're doing one day.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hire me? I want those people because although you're gonna leave, you're gonna give me your best while you're working because you're
Yep.
actively learning, soaking up this information from what you see yourself in the future as opposed to just being here, you know.
Yeah.
So your
Yeah.
passion for my company, your passion for what you're doing is what me in particular, what I look for.
Yes. I always said that too, Davina. That is so crazy. Because I've had so many trash supervisors, managers, different people over in high positions at companies and different things like that I've worked for. And I've always worked in service of people and like in healthcare and things like that. And to work with people that are actively taking care of other people that have nasty attitudes and mean and all that type of stuff, and they don't care. It's just like, how can y'all be in this industry or working in this workforce um and not care about people? Like, that's
Yeah.
crazy to me. And so I felt like I had that thought, like, when I get my business, I need to be in business with people. I want my employees to have the same passion that I have
Hmm.
for taking care of people, for being a servant to people. And if you're not, again, in alignment with that, then you can't work here. Period. I'm not
Exactly.
just going to hire any and everybody because of your
Mhm.
credentials or your resume alone. I need to know personally. I need to know your heart. I need
Ye-
to know, like, for real, how you feel
That
about
part.
doing this. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
that is so important, I feel. But a lot of people don't think like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, like, if we on another level. I just don't know. Like, but
Mhm.
that's not how business is typically done. But that's how mine's gonna be done.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. It's just got to. Okay, so this last question is: what will you never compromise on with your business? I know they say never, but sure.
Never compromise. So I have a funny story.
Okay, come on.
I have I had a client that was in the sex toy industry,
Okay.
and they had some very interesting things, right? It was getting a
Mhm.
little, and it was fine, it was like, okay, if I never knew a threshold before, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I think that's my threshold. Like, I'm not going past this,
Yeah. Yeah.
if it's anything beyond this, I think maybe. And it was so funny because I had another client who it was a church, and I had
Mhm.
just had this meeting with them. We prayed in a call and we got this,
Mhm.
and then I have to do this work and like when I work with clients or when I have to do work for them, I kind of got to get
Mhm.
in the mood. So like if I'm working on like a religious project, I kind of put on my church music. But if I'm working
Mhm.
on like sex toy stuff, I kind of put on like sexy music, and it was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it, I don't know if like there is like a line, but at the point that it makes me a little uncomfortable, I was like right there because the stuff that was there, it was like I don't think I'm old enough to be like seeing this stuff. It was there. Like I'm not a big girl. So that was my line. Like it was fine.
Yeah.
That was like my line. And I guess to not put anything in like concrete, I would say anything that makes me uncomfortable,
Mhm.
it's okay to just decline that. If it
Yeah.
makes me don't sit right in my
Mhm.
spirit,
Mhm.
this is my friend. It was fine or whatever. But
Mhm.
if it
Mhm.
doesn't fit my spirit, then it's a no. And it's okay
Yeah.
to be a no.
It's okay to be a no. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. All right, Davina, we're gonna do a real quick round of like rapid fire questions.
Mhm.
Just the first answer that comes to your mind with these questions, okay? Okay, so who is your biggest role model?
Don't think this is weird. Olivia Pope. Like
Ain't
you
nothing
can't
weird about that to
you
me.
can't tell me that I'm not Olivia Pope. Like yes, I'm Olivia Pope. That's my girl.
Period. Yes, I could see that. I could see that in your business for sure. For sure. How do you feel? How do you define success?
I define success by every single accomplishment that you make, whether small or big. If you get your everything off your to-do list done today,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
successful day. If you turned your notifications off and did 3 hours of work uninterrupted, it was successful. I'm super big now. Like I'm really, really practicing celebrating little successes because I'll go a whole year and be like, well, I need more, gotta do more. That's not good enough or whatever. So
Right.
every little thing, if I would go and just get a bottle of champagne and just drink a glass if I had a good day, anything
Yeah.
that every little thing, it was successful. Go get you a glass of champagne.
That's so dope. I love that. Celebrate you at all times, okay?
Yes. Yes.
Good. Good. Okay, what makes a good leader?
This may sound cliche, but to me, simple. A leader is someone that leads by example. Like that's
Period.
it. That's it.
Period. Period. I totally agree. And I say that about my relationship with God and my kids not getting that same upbringing that I did with being raised in a church setting, and we don't go to into a building to church, but the greatest example of them knowing who God is seeing my relationship with Him.
Hmm.
Because we can go into church all we want to, and if I ain't living a nickel worth of nothing inside or outside the church, then what are we doing? What am I teaching them? Who am I showing them? You know what I'm saying?
That
So
part.
no, I don't have any qualms about my kids not going into a physical building for church because they see the church within me. and they see God within me, and they have a relationship with Him because of me. So I'm grateful for that. So definitely, that's the leader,
Yeah.
being a good leader.
Yes.
Okay. At what point did you look at your business and consider it a success?
Although I like I said, I'm working on celebrating my little successes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that there is a like a moment, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
when you have if you have that moment, like, oh, I'm successful now, it's just like, okay, then what's next? You know, I'm
Right,
always
right,
going
right.
to grow and develop and do better.
Mm-hmm.
So every moment is a success, but there is no just moment that you just arrived, unless like I don't know, Michelle Obama be like, no, girl, you're successful. Or Beyonce be like, no, you're successful. I'm like, okay, well, they said it, so I'm
We know
successful.
you, Davina. We know you.
No, we've been watching your videos. You're a
We've been
success.
watching
And I'm
your
like,
videos. Yes. Then I'll be like, oh, girl, you successful. What are you talking about?
yeah, I heard her. Like they said it, so.
Yes, they said it. That's good. That's good. And last question, what would you change about your business journey if you could go back?
So I hate to say this answer, but it's just the answer. It's just the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I've went through taught me who I am now. And
Mm-hmm.
I just wouldn't take like of course I would want to take every mistake away, but then
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't have learned from those mistakes. Like every failed business, I was able
Mm-hmm.
to pull from those business. I had a clothing store, but now I have a e-commerce store and like everything just kind of met up. So like all of the bad days, all the good days, all the
Mm-hmm.
lessons, all the stuff I couldn't figure out, and now I finally figured it out. Like it just
Mm-hmm.
made this moment, it made me who I am. So I'm not taking away nothing because it was all needed. And I could be able to share like, oh, you know what? I experienced that portion. When I experienced that, this would happen. I can teach somebody else. They can learn from me. If I
Yeah.
had no mistakes, then nobody can learn from me. I can't coach
Yes.
if I had no mistakes, or if everything
Mm.
was clean. So I'm keeping the good, the bad, and the ugly. But the good most.
Period. Right, 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 right.
More of the good. More of the
More of the
good.
good, more of the good. Okay. Yes. I love that answer. That is so, oh my gosh. Just you said a lot of things in that. Okay. And if more people would just lead that way, they probably will be much more successful. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get out of here, we're just gonna hear a quick word from our sponsor, Shop Lene. Thank you, Shop Lene, so much for sponsoring the podcast. And please don't forget to go check out our Amazon cart for our planners and our journals that are still on sale. The link is in the description of this episode, as it always is. And yeah, go check us out. We appreciate it. So, moving on to the last segment of the podcast, Davina, if you would like to please share any parting words, and you can share your social medias or whatever you want people to contact you at to come on and tap into this business.
Yes. So first and foremost, thank you for having me. I had such a great time. Like
No
such a great
problem.
For any social media services, for any social media coaching, to find out about my classes I'll be having. And also, I just launched an ebook for business owners of how to use artificial intelligence to help with their businesses. So, for all of that information, you can find it on my website, socialprojectllc.com. It's so many resources on there, anything that you need to find to help you with your brand, with your business, with your social media. Always happy. And thank you again, Portia, for the platform.
Never a problem. Never a problem. Listen, Davina is not a gatekeeper, okay? She has so many resources and she is a resource herself and she is not shy to share it. So I appreciate that and I admire that about you because that's how we should be. It shouldn't be a secret club or withholding knowledge from people. We It's supposed to spread it out and give it out to people. So thank you again for being so wonderful and so great and allowing God to use you in this field of marketing. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. So before we get out of here, we're going to do my last segment, which is Speak Life. Okay, this is the segment where I leave you with a call to action for yourself, but not just for you, for me as well. So I'll leave you with these words to hold on to until next time. Today's affirmation is, I am in charge of my life and no one will dictate my path besides me. Again, today's Speak Life affirmation is, I am in charge of my life, and no one will dictate my path besides me. You heard it, you say it, you write it down, and remind yourself to speak that thing and make it happen because life be life in us all. Thank you all again. Thank you again, Davina. Love you dearly. Appreciate y'all checking us out, and we will see you again next week on Life Be Life podcast. Bye.